Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Noggle, and I'd like to welcome you to today's training on turning a job fair into a job offer. I've been a managing partner here at Catalyst Career Group Job Fairs for over 12 years now, and also participate part-time as a career coach. I welcome everyone that's on this training to link in with me on LinkedIn. I know a lot of recruiters, and perhaps some of my connections can help you. Today I want to talk about a number of things, but to start with, I want to talk about advanced preparation. The first thing you should plan to do is block the date and time on your calendar for this upcoming event. You don't want to miss it. I also want to encourage you to prepare to network. Networking is a very important tool in today's job search, and you should be prepared with your introduction for your network. You'll want to create a list of questions that you're going to want to ask the recruiters the day of the event, as well as questions for the recruiters that you might ask. Make sure you save the above information in a document to reference the day of the job fair, so those questions that you want to ask and answer can be easily referenced. Networking. It's the number one way people are landing jobs today. Statistics say that over 85% of candidates getting jobs today are getting it through someone that they know. How do you network at a job fair? Well, at a job fair, one of the best places you can network is with the recruiters and hiring managers that are on site. Why? Three real strong reasons. First, recruiters know if there are other jobs opening that aren't listed on the event guide or in the job vacancies today. Recruiters also know what they're planning to hire for in the future. They're often part of the process, and they'll be able to tell you if there's something coming up that you may qualify for, or keep your resume so that when the time's right, they can call you. Recruiters also know other recruiters from other companies or in their own organization that they may be able to refer you to. They talk. They're talking about the talent that they need and the talent that they're meeting. You want to be one of the people that they're talking about that they're meeting. But how do you do that? Well, one of the best ways you can do that is through your networking introduction. What is a networking introduction? It's your commercial, it's your value proposition. It tells the people who you are. And just like a commercial, it informs them and inspires them to want to know more. You'll want to create a paragraph for yourself that you're able to cut and paste into your text chats when you're at a virtual job fair. What should that include? Well, first thing that you should include in your introduction are the position and titles that you've used or held in the last 10 years. If you're open to doing other things than what you've done in the past, which a lot of people are, here's something you can say. Right now, I'm exploring some career options. I'd like to find out more about your company and positions to see if we're a good match for each other. A lot of individuals are exploring things and using their transferable skills to move into other positions and move their career forward. Maybe that's you too. Second, you need to answer this question for whoever you're talking to. How in your past positions did you use your talent and skills to help or benefit the companies you worked for previously? I know, as being a small business owner myself and working with as many recruiters as I do, that we're more interested in knowing how you and your talent and skill can help or benefit us with our problems before we're interested in how we can help you. And if you get that mindset down, it's going to make you more interesting and valuable to the recruiter that you're talking with. But what's the best way to answer this question? Your past measurable results and achievements. Let me explain. In the past, when I've talked to candidates, one of the things that they tend to talk about most are what their duties or responsibilities were in their position. Those things are important, but we're really more interested in knowing how you used your skills to help and benefit the companies you worked for. So, if you're talking about measurable results that you achieved, you can talk about 4 ways of measuring out results for yourself. One is with dollars. Did you help companies make money or save money? Talk about the dollar amounts. 2 is percentages. Hey, if you don't know what the bottom line was that you impacted, talk about a percent of change that you influenced, up or down in a positive direction. 3 is time. In business, time is money. So if you talk about something you did to help influence time savings, that is valuable to a company. You can also talk about years, days, hours, and minutes. And then finally, numbers. Any type of number. Was it the number of people you managed? The number of branches? Maybe it was the number of accounts you had or the number of customer calls you took in a day. Whatever it is that tells your story, use numbers to tell it. Soft skills. They say the majority of recruiters today and hiring managers are making their final decision on candidates, not on their hard skills, because hard skills can look very similar between candidates, but on their soft skill sets. What are soft skills? They're those innate qualities you have that are desirable to an employer. Here's some examples. And when I say innate, they're so naturally part of you that you may forget to talk about them. You might think everybody has them. Think about it. Are you trustworthy? Are you organized? Dependable? Are you a leader or team player? A great communicator? How do you talk about your soft skills? The best way is to share a short story, an example of where you use this talent and the benefit to the employer. Here's a great tool. Have you ever heard of the SARS acronym? It's a way you can systematically share a story from beginning to conclusion. So how do you start? Well, you start with what was the situation you were in? What was the problem? A, what was the action that you took? R, what were the results? Talk about them in a measurable fashion. And S, what's the significance to the person that's hearing you? Talk about what the benefit is to them. Maybe it's simply that now that you understand how I've used that to help other companies, I hope you can begin to imagine how I'm going to use it for you. You should also be prepared to answer questions like these for recruiters. I'm not going to go through all of these questions, but these are things that typically recruiters will ask at some point in time, whether it's when they meet you or in an interview. Come back to these questions and make sure you get them down, or do a Google search and find out other questions you might be prepared for answering with recruiters. Here's some questions that you might want to ask recruiters. Remember, this is a two-way conversation, so you want to make sure that you're asking good questions as well. Again, I'm not going to go through each of these, but these are 4 great questions that you can ask recruiters. Next, make sure you have a plan of action in your mind when you're entering the recruiting booth. Ask yourself, what do I want from this interaction with the recruiter or hiring manager? What would I like to do or inspire the person I'm speaking to do? So maybe it's understand position in the company better. Maybe it's secure an interview or request a referral. Have in your mind some of the things you'd like to accomplish. Next, we've talked about this already, but remember, this is a two-way conversation. The recruiter wants you to be able to ask questions, and they want to be able to ask you questions. So make sure you ask follow-up questions. Ask what the next steps would be in consideration of your candidacy, or ask for advice. And remember, if possible, ask for a referral. Also, first impressions count. You don't get a second chance to make a good first impression. Maybe you've heard that slogan before. So we want to encourage you to dress and groom well. You may be invited into a video chat, and if you are, you want to make sure you put your best foot forward. Have your text documents pre-created with what we discussed earlier for questions as well as your introduction. Make sure you log in the morning of the event to begin looking around early and preparing. If possible, meet with all of the companies that day. There will be companies there that represent positions they're hiring for, as well as companies that are educators. Our educators are there because we know some of you out there are considering a different career field. We want to give you the opportunity to meet and talk with people who are experts in helping people discover their passions and put those passions with professions. They can also help you understand what kind of time commitment is involved and what kind of costs might be involved as well. Listen, you're certainly going to expand your network if you meet in for everyone. A lot of people have discovered their dream job or gotten a referral to their dream job just because they took the time to network and find out more. Final reminders, being prepared is a great confidence builder. So take your time, do your studying and your homework, and be prepared for the day of the event. Remember this, these companies all have positions that they want and need to fill. They're there that day because they want to meet someone like you that would be perfect to fill this slot. Log in and participate the day of the job fair. It's the best way for you to succeed because just applying doesn't gain you that live interaction. And remember, enjoy yourself. That's all the training for today. We know you're going to have a great time at the fair and we wish you a lot of success. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.